Welcome to the Milk and Cookies podcast. This is the super amazing podcast that has absolutely everything to do with American football and absolutely nothing to do with milk and cookies. My name is Alex. We are joined today with Anthony and Leon. We are going for our mock draft
Get it.
2.0 with trades. So let's get right into it. This one will be a lot better. So we're just going to start out. First overall, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to select probably the most obvious choice in the entire draft. I don't know. If you think it's going to be anybody else, then you don't watch football. It's Trevor
Live
Lawrence.
under a rock.
Yeah, it's Trevor Lawrence. It's generational talent. First overall to the Jaguars. Jaguars got their hopefully future back. Hopefully it's not going to be a Jamarcus Russell type player, but
No,
yeah.
it won't be.
Jacksonville gets Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, Anthony.
New York Jets get Zach Wilson. In my opinion, he's the second best quarterback in this draft. Zach Wilson out of BYU. It's a smaller school, and I think the numbers I've seen Zach Wilson put up this past season and the other seasons proven that he's the quarterback of the New York Jets.
Alrighty, Leon.
With number 3, we got Justin Fields going to San Fran. You know, they get the scrambling QB they want to compete in the NFC West.
Both.
Similar to Russell Wilson. Let's see what Justin Fields does.
Exactly. And just a little bit more on the debate. If you haven't seen it already, go look at Anthony's and I's discussion on Justin Fields versus Mac Jones.
Yes.
Please watch that so you can see how much more I'm correct. Anyway,
just let us know.
Down to number 4, probably the biggest draft shakeup since the trades that already happened. The Chicago Bears are trading up from number 20 to number 4. They're going to trade away the Atlanta Falcons receive the Chicago 20th overall pick, the 52nd, which is the first and second of this year, and then a 2022 first and third round pick. And the Bears will receive the 4th overall and the 219th pick, which is, I'm pretty sure it's a 7th round pick. But yeah, they're going to trade up 16 picks in order to get their quarterback of the future, Trey Lance. It's pretty much known. Andy Dalton is not the guy. He's just a placeholder. If they can make this trade happen from number 20 to number 4, yeah. I mean, Trey Lance, he's a developmental talent. He's not going to be game 1 ready to go. I said you give him 1 to 2 years behind Dalton. I'd say one. 1 is perfectly fine. And then you make him start. And I'd say the Bears finally found their franchise quarterback, a surefire franchise quarterback.
Okay. I like it.
Fair enough.
Alrighty. Anthony.
All right, you got number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals, taking Jamar Chase, the wide receiver out of LSU. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they played that one season at LSU together. They just got that LSU connection, you know. The LSU connection. Joe Burrow has the connection with Jamar Chase, where they know each other's talents and weaknesses and strengths. And I think Jamar Chase with the Bengals, that's a key, given that weapon and that flashy new toy to Joe Burrow. That's gonna be an amazing thing for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Alrighty. Leon, take it away.
All right, at 6, we got the Miami Dolphins. We repping. Going with Kyle Pitts, another tight end to complement Mike, at tight end. And we can run our 3 sets, our 2 sets. We already have weapons at receiver. Tua's gonna be loving this guy. So the Miami Dolphins offense will be explosive after this pick if it happens.
When it happens?
When it happens. There you
go. Just for clarity, before you guys berate us for not picking this so well, you have to remember Brian Flores came from Bill Belichick's coaching staff, so he's notorious for the 2 tight end attacks, similar to what the Patriots did. So, like Leon said, Pitts and Gesicki would be way more lethal together than anybody else. So, alrighty, getting right into number 7, probably another underrated pick. The Detroit Lions will select Jalen Waddle. The Lions, they have almost absolutely no wide receiver talent left for Goff. Yeah, pretty much. They lost Galladay. God, I can't believe you said that. They lost Galladay. Who was the other wide receiver that they lost to free agency?
Marvin Jones.
Thank you, Marvin Jones. So they lost their wide receiver number 1 and number 2. You got to rebuild that foundation with what you got. They're going to take Jalen Waddle, second best wide receiver available on the board. Perfect for the slot. Take it and run with it. Anthony.
At number 8, the Carolina Panthers taking Penei Sewell, tackle out of Oregon. Clear as day, the best pick here. They have no protection in the Panthers, and they need to build protection around Sam Darnold. Maybe their franchise quarterback, maybe not. The world may never know, but Honestly, Penei Sewell is the perfect pick here for the Carolina Panthers. They just need to build that protection around Sam Darnold and build that offensive line to be the next best offensive line they haven't had since their Super Bowl team.
Not to mention it's steel that Sewell is at number 8. Alrighty. Leon, take it
Facts.
away with number 9.
All right, number 9, we got the Denver Broncos taking Mekhi Parsons from Penn State. He does it all. He can put his fingers in the ground or he can stand up. And, looking at Von Miller, he's getting old and all that. So this would be a nice replacement and a nice help. And he can get some, kind of teacher mode as he's along.
Yeah, and just to build off of what Leon said, you also have to remember that much of the Broncos defense is going to be hitting contract extension / free agency. Von Miller, I'm pretty sure, is at the end. They're going to lose Bradley Chubb, which is their 5th overall pick from a couple years ago. A lot of other defensive strong suits are going to be gone. So if they can get Parsons that can shore up that linebacker position and then be able to re-sign some of them, Vic Fangio is going to be able to keep his killer defense that's what he's known for. So going right into number 10, the Dallas Cowboys, which is not America's team, will be selecting Patrick Surtain II, the cornerback from Alabama. The Dallas Cowboys had arguably one of the worst defenses in the 2020-2021 season.
Horrible, atrocious.
Their pass rush just wasn't there. So they need to reshare that. Surtain, I guess you could call him like a mini Byron Jones, sort of say. He's a lockdown, but he's like a hybrid between what I would say would be a prime Patrick Peterson and a Byron Jones. So I'd say Surtain would be the perfect pick here at number 10. Anthony, take it away at 11.
Rashawn Slater to the New York Giants, tackle out of Northwestern. Clear as day, the Giants need offensive line protection. Daniel Jones, he was hit too many times last year, sacked way too many times last year. There's no way he's going to have the time in the pocket if you don't have a good offensive line. Offensive line is the first thing you need to protect the quarterback, and you just need offensive line to protect quarterback. I think Rashawn Slater is the best fit for the New York Giants.
All right. Leon.
All right, with the Philadelphia Eagles, we picked Devontae Smith. Last year, they drafted a receiver first round, Rieger, out of TCU. This year, they drive another one to, complement Jalen Hurts and give him some weapons. So I think it's a nice pick for them, and they will succeed with it.
Yeah, hopefully they actually land one this time. 13th overall, Los Angeles Chargers are going to select Christian Darrisaw to tackle out of West Virginia. Justin Herbert needs an offensive line help. They already have wide receivers. Their defense is fine. They got a new head coach. This is a recipe for success. Watch out for these guys at the playoffs. They just need
if they make the playoffs.
I'd say it's a pretty strong case. I don't think it's a surefire, but I'd say it's a potential. But
yeah,
Anthony, 14.
14th, the Minnesota Vikings select J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina. They need cornerback help. They really don't. They don't have much back there, and the cornerback they took last year in the first round. Apparently, I heard today from Leon he's in jail or is facing legal charges, and he.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
And he probably won't see the field ever again. So you're gonna start with J.C. Horn here to build your cornerback depth.
I mean, yeah, and the only major corner that the Vikings have right now is Patrick Peterson, so they're definitely going to need an addition.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where J.C. Horn goes.
With 15, we got the New England Patriots grabbing Mac Jones out of Alabama.
My guy.
Smart guy. He looks, he's disciplined. Belichick type QB, backing up Cam Newton. Cam Newton has a 1-year contract. I see all signs, pointing at him to start next year.
I mean, he's probably the most Tom Brady-esque quarterback in this draft, so this is probably the match made in heaven for Belichick.
Very true.
Alrighty, number 16, the Arizona Cardinals are going to select Christian Barmore, the defensive interior lineman from Alabama. Let's just cut to the chase here. Other than the edges, which they already have J.J. Watt, they still have do they still have Chandler Jones? They still have Chandler Jones. Isaiah
He didn't
Simmons.
even give us a chance to respond.
Because I just remembered, apparently. They still got Isaiah Simmons. They got Budda Baker. That defense is killer. The offense is also killer. It just doesn't make any sense how they still didn't manage to make the playoffs last year. But anyway, Barmore's going to shore up that defensive line for sure. With Watt and even Jones as the outside linebacker, this is going to be, for sure, a top 10 defensive line in the NFL. So just watch out for them.
All right. Pick 17. The Las Vegas Raiders select Trayvon Moehrig, safety out of TCU. Players Day, the Raiders, they did not have a strong secondary last year. And they have some decent corners / safeties. They got, I forgot the guy's name. They have Jonathan Abram,
Yeah.
and then they just got rid of LaMarcus Joyner to free agency. So starting right here, Trayvon Moehrig is your key piece for the Raiders to get back that secondary depth you need to compete again.
Okay, I like it. Leon?
At 18, we got the Titans picking Rashad Bateman. Bateman, I remember he came back another year, to prove himself. Wasn't even supposed to play. He's a top receiver. Titans lost Corey Davis. They're looking to fill a hole. He's the right guy for the job.
Yeah, now watch out for the Titans, especially with A.J. Brown there as well. I think Bateman and Brown would totally be a wide receiver duo if they can build Bateman, right? Alrighty, number 19, the Washington football team is going to be selecting Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the linebacker from Notre Dame. Honestly, other than Micah Parsons, this is the prime defensive player that should be on everybody's draft board. This guy is the best linebacker, arguably one of the best linebackers. He can blitz the pass. He can cover pass coverage, do run everything. Everything that you can think of that a linebacker should do, this guy can play. You want him to play middle, he can play middle. You want him to play outside, he can play outside. The fact that Washington is able to get this guy and then adapt him to the defense that is already borderline elite with that D line.
With Chase Young.
Yeah, Chase Young, Payne. They have Montez Sweat. I mean, honestly, the Washington football team's defense was probably the most underrated defense, arguably one of the most underrated defenses. So shoring up that linebacker core is definitely going to put them a cut above. Hopefully, maybe they might win the division again.
That's sorry division.
Well, maybe it might actually be a little more respectable this year. Alrighty.
All right. Pick 20. The Atlanta Falcons traded to the Chicago Bears their 4th and 219 pick and received the Chicago Bears 20 and 52 pick and their next year's round 1 of 2022 and round 3 of 2022. And at this pick, they take Greg Newsome II, cornerback out of Northwestern. Keeping it short and simple here, they need secondary help. They lost Keanu Neal this past offseason to free agency, and they signed a couple lesser-known players, but I think Greg Newsome II is the answer here for the Atlanta Falcons at 20.
All right. Leon.
All right. We got 21. We got out of Ole Miss, Eli Moore going to the Colts. The Colts need another receiver. They got Ty Hilton back, but I'm pretty sure it's just for a year. He had Michael Pittman. Pittman. Yeah. Pittman. He got hurt a little bit in the season, so they're gonna need another receiver because the other receivers are a bunch of no names. So they need a guy who's that caliber to compete.
Absolutely. Be a solid slot wide receiver if they can get him up there. Alrighty. Just a little recap. The Dolphins did trade out of the 18 pick to the Titans. The Dolphins received the 22 and the 100th, which is a 4th round pick. 4th round. No, I'm sorry. It's a conditional 3rd round pick. Yeah. In exchange for they gave up the 18th and the 156th 5th round. With that, the Dolphins are selecting Walker Little, the tight end from Stanford. First try. If you're a Dolphins fan like me and Leon, I mean, you're pretty confident the line is probably the best that it's been at any point during the 2010s.
Yes.
This is probably the most exciting offensive line that I've seen ever. Well, in my 19 years of living, at least. It's already a pretty solid line with Jackson, with Hunt, with Kinley, with Skura, and even with Jesse Davis. But if you get Walker Little to kind of slide in instead of Jesse Davis, I consider it an upgrade. Even though he's not the biggest, flashiest guy, he could develop into a lockdown guy. Anthony?
23. The New York Jets take Kwity Paye, the edge rusher, out of Michigan. Clear as day. New York Jets just need help everywhere. This is a good piece to bolster up their defensive line. He's a young, agile, amazing edge rusher. I don't see why not take Kwity Paye at 23.
All right. Leon?
All right, at 24, we had the Steelers taking Tevin Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. So reason being is, they need protection, to be honest with you. Every other position is kind of solidified right now, and we're not going to reach for anything else. Ben could be retiring, but the offensive line to protect him because he's been getting sacked all last season. We saw it. Can't even block. So that's why we picked that for that one.
Absolutely. Alrighty, number 25. The Jacksonville Jaguars, with their second first-round pick, are going to be getting Terrence Marshall Jr., the wide receiver out of LSU. You got your generational talent. You got Trevor Lawrence. The best thing that you can do for this poor kid is just to make sure that he, give him a couple more 100 yards for the season, kind of re-solidify his position at Rookie of the Year. Already loaded with the core.
Mm-hmm.
Adding Marshall will just be a little fine addition, probably third, maybe fourth string wide receiver.
Yeah.
Could probably develop into a solid starter. Anthony?
At number 26, Jason Oweh, the edge rusher out of Penn State. Think about it like this. Jason Oweh on one side of the defensive line, and then you got Myles Garrett. Those two players combined will make offensive lines scared. They're two great defensive edge rushers. They bring so much potential to this defensive line. This is clear as day the pick for the Browns to get that defense bolstering up again and being aggressive and being aggressive. This is the perfect pick for the Cleveland Browns.
All right, at 27, we got Baltimore going with Rondale Moore, man. When you look at Baltimore and how they've been drafting the past years, they go for speed after getting J.K. Dobbins last year and a speedy Patrick Queen at linebacker. They're going to go for more speed at receiver, more weapons for Lamar Jackson than Rondale Moore out of Purdue, running 4.3, small and fast. Nice to put in the slot. I like it.
4.3. That's nice. Okay, number 28. The New Orleans Saints will be selecting Caleb Farley, the cornerback from Virginia Tech. Honestly, Farley, I would rank right underneath Patrick Surtain, but because he had surgery over the offseason, he's certainly fallen, especially because it's his back, which is kind of questionable, especially if you have a cornerback that, a cornerback without the back is just a corner, and you can't do anything. That was such a stupid joke. Anyway, yeah. Other than that, the major other points for the Saints was linebacker and wide receiver. Wide receiver, the only major one was Kadarius Toney, but even then, I don't really think that wide receiver was as big as what they need corner. They have Marshawn Lattimore, for sure, cornerback number 1, but they at least need a guy that can run cornerback 2 or 3. If you're letting half the field just get torched half the time, it's just never good. So they just needed to reassure the other side of the defensive back line.
Yeah.
Anthony.
At number 30,
29.
29, my bad. Don't hate me in the comments. The Green Bay Packers are finally taking a wide receiver, Kadarius Toney out of Florida. Hopefully, if you're a Packers fan and if you're listening, you're happy with that. They're taking a wide receiver. You got Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You got Aaron Rodgers, possibly Jordan Love at your quarterback. Who knows what they're going to do this year at quarterback. But this gives you another weapon for the Green Bay Packers. I just see this being a bolstering offensive move and getting them to win that maybe extra or second game, get them back into the playoffs, get them that deep playoff run. But unfortunately, they lost to the defending Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I just see this being a great pick for the Green Bay Packers.
We know that the Packers can make a deep playoff run. They just can't get into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, very true. All right, at 30, we got the Buffalo Bills taking Azeez Ojulari. That's how you say his name?
Yes, sir.
Azizi or whatever.
Azeez Ojulari, yeah.
Out of Georgia, another athletic body on the D-line. The defense is already proven. They have some beasts. They got Kraft, Shaq Lawson still, and they want to add another body. So I think that's what we get. That's what we think we get.
Be a menace for the Dolphins twice a year. But, all right. Number 31, the Super Bowl losers. The Kansas City Chiefs will be selecting Dylan Raduns, the tackle from North Dakota State. They lost Fisher. They lost Schwartz. The rest of their line is still perfectly fine with the interiors in the center, but they need to kind of help reassure to make sure that none of the speedy edge rushers can hit Mahomes, because we know that the Chiefs, if they lose Mahomes,
They're screwed.
yeah, they're kind of done. So offensive line help is certainly going to help them out. So anyway, Anthony rounded out of the first round with number 32.
The 32nd pick in this draft from the Super Bowl champions is Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback out of Florida State. It's clear as day Tampa could run it back again. We re-signed all our free agents, but the most definite need the Buccaneers needed is cornerback and safety help, also known as secondary help. And we have Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield Jr., and I think we just need another cornerback in that depth to make us be great again. Like if we had Asante Samuel Jr., that would be amazing, and it would be deep.
Absolutely. That rounds out our first. Oh wait, let me just do that. There, that's a little bit better. Alrighty, that rounds out our mock draft 2.0 with trades. First one with trades. We might bring another one right before the draft, probably a week before. Cannot really be sure about that. Maybe not. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you managed to watch this far, typically not many people reach this far. So if you have, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about our mock draft. Tell us if we're right. Tell us if we're wrong. Subscribe if you like the content. We'll surely be giving you guys more stuff along the way. Thank you so much, and we will see you real soon.